Welcome, Tomasio here, and we are in the Museum of Life, okay? And I am going to share a little bit about the story of how I met Yogi Bhajan. So, uh, it's a really fascinating story, okay? So, I don't know if you saw the making of Tomasio. I shared a little bit about my background and how I ended up getting zapped by the Blessed Mother, Mary, mediatrix of all graces. So I'm like totally falling in complete love with the divine feminine, and I am checking out a YouTube Facebook group about Mary Magdalene, and they're all claiming Mary Magdalene was closer to Jesus than Mary, his mother. I was like, whoa, what in the world is this going on? That Mary Magdalene is his bride, not Mary, the mediatrix of all graces. That basically Mary Magdalene had higher spiritual ranking than Mary, the mother of Jesus. This was like incredible. I couldn't believe it. So I'm checking out their Facebook page, and they have a video of who they claim to be Jesus and Mary Magdalene's daughter, Sarah, giving a message. And in the background is a Shauna playing Ave Maria. Now, I was like, I couldn't believe the music in the background. It was really amazing. So, being this Mary, I had to find out what this was. Who's singing so beautifully about Mary? It was a Shauna, a New Age musician. So I look up Ashana, and she's singing about Mary. She's singing about Allah, and she's singing about Creator and God and Waheguru, and she just sings about every person's religion. She sings. She has songs about. So she feels like she has to unite religions, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, um, I found out she was coming in concert not far from where I live, in Waynesboro, PA. And she was going to be part of some kind of Sat Nam Fest. I'm like, Sat Nam Fest? What's that? So I look into it, and it was all like Singh and Khalsa and Kaur, and like the names, I were like, what is this? What's this all about? So I'm like, you know, half shaken, like, oh my gosh, am I allowed to go to this concert? Um, who in the world are these people? What country are they from? I didn't know anything about them. So I called up, and I started talking and just doing a little search mission, and I was like, well, I really want to see this Ashana. I mean, I was so impressed with her that I was willing to do a 2-day pass to go and check out Ashana. So that's what I did. I ended up going, and it was like at a campground. And so this is really interesting. I had no idea what I was doing. All I know is that I brought my statue of Our Lady of Guadalupe with me. Okay. And I'm sure you've seen it in my videos and things like that. I take it with me all over the place. It's about yay, yay big, and she's very beautiful and very pretty. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to this without some, physical sign of Mary and her presence. So I bring this. Now I get there, it's in the evening, and I find a place where I'm going to camp and check in, and everybody's dressed up like they got things on their head, and women have these beautiful dresses on, and it was like, it was really different. You know what I mean? Like everybody was dressed for this event, but dressed in like a religious way. Everybody was dressed religiously, but not oppressively religious. It was like quite pretty. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the evening session, and it's dark. At this point, it's dark, and I'm carrying my statue, and I had That's it, man. I just had a statue. That's all I have. So I'm walking and I get into this hall and there's all these people there and they all have yoga mats and they're all sitting on their mats and they are totally spacing out to the music. It was, I believe, Jai Jagdish was actually playing when I walked in. Okay. So I'm like, whoa, what is this? So I immediately go to the back where there was like some lights and vendors tables. And I'm like, I had my cowboy hat on. I didn't have anything like these. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? And I'm just checking things out. And then I went over to where they had a plate of cookies and some water. So I went over there and there was a young lady who looked like a princess. I mean, this girl looked like heavenly. She just was beautiful. Her dress, her hair, everything. She was just dressed remarkably beautiful. And I remember just saying something to her like, hey, how you doing? And next thing you know, Crystal is uh, like I just couldn't, like she was so welcoming. She started asking me, I said, I've never been here, nothing, and I basically told her I am a stranger, and she welcomed me. It was incredible. She had an extra yoga mat. She gave me an extra yoga mat. She had, extra programs. She had like just, she was just amazing. Like I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe the kindness that was coming from this total stranger at this festival. So I, uh, sat down. I tried to do a few things that they were doing and listening to the music. It was very beautiful. And so the evening ended. I got there kind of late. So the evening ended, and I actually, you know what? I didn't have my statue. That's right. I left my statue back at where I was camping. So I didn't even have anything. So Crystal and I, we just were talking, and it was just, I don't know, just unbelievable. And I said to her, like, um, I uh, have something for you. And next thing you know, like, she's walking with me, and we're going to, where the camping area is. And, she's like, let's pray, so we spend time in prayer, um, just talking. And I told her I had a Blessed Mother statue, and she was like, oh my gosh, where? And so I went and I got it, Our Lady of Guadalupe, and I brought her out. And Crystal was like so beautiful in reverence, before this statue, this image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Like she knew her, it was really incredible. So, um, we prayed some more and then said goodnight, basically. But I'm like, oh my gosh, did this just happen? Really? Like, whoa. This was an amazing start to my Satnam Fest, my first one. Just been amazing. Thanks to Crystal. Now, okay, so the next day she leaves. She has to go back to New York. And now I'm on my own again. But now I have the statue of our Blessed Mother with me. And, it was very warm. I was looking forward to getting to know the different artists and check everything out, because I had such a good impression on Friday night. So, I brought my statue up front. They had like a Guru Ram Das saint display or something, where people can bring prayers. So I put the Blessed Mother up next to Guru Ram Das. And the whole time I'm praying, and I'm feeling like they know each other. Okay, he was a Sikh guru, and uh, basically, I would say that I met this the spirit, the soul. I met the soul of Yogi Bhajan at this festival. Okay, and it was really beautiful in the beginning. It was really beautiful in the beginning. It really was. Now, as the as it goes on, um, I'm totally out of my league with yoga. These people were just like, whew, unbelievable. And I'm checking out, it's mostly women. I'm thinking, okay, their flexibility is much better. But there were some men who were doing it. But it was a predominantly, female scene and crowd. And I love the way they dress. I love the way they sing. The meals were all vegetarian. They had some amazing meals. Um, everybody's like super friendly. And then I go downstairs and they have like massage therapy going on, and they had some readings, which I didn't know what that was. Um, and some interesting looking people, and I'm just talking to people, getting to know people, statue, whatever, and I'm trying to give the yoga a shot. And then as Shauna came and she did her thing with crystal bowls and some meditation, and I was impressed. The people who were leading the different meditations were all about like healing of memories, healing of generational healing. Let's do 10 of these for, generational healing, which I thought was good, is that they're trying to help people just get free of baggage. So like that was cool. I was pretty cool with it. And the fact that they were so open to the Blessed Mother, like everything was good. Everything was really good. And then when And so I'm just feeling like on cloud nine, this is just too good to be true. You know, Total stranger with a statue of the Blessed Mother and just fitting right in here with these people. It was just truly amazing. And Crystal Dawn was the door. She was the door. So AJeet comes on, and AJeet Kaur is a young, beautiful singer, yoga teacher. And she gets up, and I'm sitting like up front. I'm like, you know what? I want to videotape. And I had met her boyfriend, Nirmal, and I had said something to him. I want to videotape. He was like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm up next to the stage, and another dude who I had talked to was just standing right there, and his wife uh, and he's a drummer, and Akiana, maybe his wife is. So anyway, I go up, I put my laptop, which is where the video camera is, on the stage, way away from the Jeep, but just angled towards her. And then I was just like standing there listening to the music. Well, then all of a sudden, I get like 3 visitors come up to me, and they say, "Well, you can't be here. You can't be by the stage." I said, "Well, I asked Normal. He said I could videotape." And I said, "What's it like in the middle of a song? Can't you let this? Uh, can't you let it finish?" So the one lady, she moves it behind a screen. The other dude is like, like they were all of a sudden feeling like extremely uncomfortable with me videotaping a Jeep. So I was like, okay, fine. So I went back just to sit down, and I just thought that was very, very strange, because all of the musicians were mingling with people. There wasn't like this separation of musician and uh, customer. No, everybody was in this thing together. So all of a sudden now there's like walls that are going up. So I'm like, okay, uh, that's interesting. And then I just continued throughout the day, and I met some Catholic people there. We were talking about the Blessed Mother. Um, I was having a conversation. I met the one guy who's like, "Oh, Jesus never died on the cross." I mean, you had everything there. People, former Christians who had nothing good to say about Jesus or the church. And you had people who were never Christians who were like totally open. What is this Mary? And then people tell me that in Espanola, New Mexico, they have an image of Our Lady of Guadalupe in their Budara, where Yogi Bhajan was. So I'm just taking everything in. Nothing's bothering me at all. And I had to go that night. Unfortunately, there was a campfire, and there was this one girl I met, and I was going to go there, because she tried to organize this campfire. But I had to get back. I had stuff to do on Sunday. So I left there feeling really good. I bought some CDs. I'm listening to them on the way back. I got Ashana, AJeet Kaur, I got Snapcom Car, AJeet, so I'm just checking out all this music. I'm just really on cloud nine, and like I said, the only thing that was like the thing around the stage there where they got nervous. So, and I even asked one of the guys that was there, I said, what about, this guy his brother was is a Catholic priest, and he's a Sikh now, I guess. And I asked him about abortion. He gave a great answer. The girl was pregnant. They would help her, keep the child. Great answer, and I looked up Sikhs on abortion, and they're pro-life. The uh, scriptures, the Sikh scriptures talk about the unborn child in the womb in a powerful way. So I'm like, okay, man, I'm going to like totally tell everybody in the world about this group. This is a great group. This is truly amazing, super duper, everything. Well, in my enthusiasm, I start to put some stuff out there on Facebook about being pro-life, and I'm getting like this really lukewarm or cold response to it. And I didn't quite understand what was going on. And then I saw stuff Gersant was putting out. I'm thinking, God, this guy's just really a disgruntled employee, is what he was. So I'm checking out and then I started asking questions. Simrat, I started asking her about abortion. I asked AJeet about abortion, AJeet about abortion, Ashana. I asked them all, and you know what? Not one of them would stand up for the right to life of the unborn child. And they pointed out to me that Yogi Bhajan taught them that at 4 months, 120 days into pregnancy, that's when the soul comes from heaven into that body. And you're supposed to pray for a good soul. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What? What in the world is that? That's the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. Okay. Grown up adult women who believed that. We have 5 kids. Okay. Nothing happened on day 120. It didn't happen on day 119. So I'm like, I like, okay, next thing you know, I'm getting censored and blocked, and because I was like upset, and I told him I was upset. And Mike Tamburini, the gong guy, dude, man, these people rejected me totally because I was pro-life, and I was upset that they weren't. Then I called New Mexico and told them, why would you have Our Lady of Guadalupe there if you're promoting this ridiculous heresy that the soul comes into the body at 120 days? And they couldn't even talk to me. Then I read Gersant's book, and so this was the dark side of Yogi Bhajan that I met. So the initial Yogi Bhajan was like the magic man, but the more you got to know him, you realized that he was more the baggage man, okay? And this fantasy that he put out there that people bought into, I bought into it because it was beautiful. It looked beautiful. Where is it? Okay, now so anyway, Yogi Bhajan has died, but his gifts have been passed on, okay, to someone who is not going to promote abortion, okay? So we are about the gifts. We're about the good times. We're about the love in the community. We're about the peace. We're about the feeling, but we're about being inclusive of everyone, not exclusive. Okay, Yogi Bhajan was exclusive, pretty much of, you could say, children, because in my findings, many of these artists they only have one kid, and they're married, and they've been married for a long time, and they got money. So it is an anti-child spirit that comes in. He brought it in, I'm sure, through the Hindu god of destruction, Shiva. Yogi Bhajan, he had a Hindu burial, so I believe he was, uh, doing homage or tribute to Shiva by promoting this abortion, and when we would say to Satan. So you can't serve two masters. Jesus clearly said that. You can't serve two masters. And then Yogi got caught in that whole thing because he wanted the beautiful women, free-spirited, but the only way he could get them was to, was to tell them it's okay to abort their babies, because that's the only way he could get them, unfortunately. At least that's what he thought. And the fact that a lot of these women are, and now that Yogi Bhajan has died, are still adamantly all about abortion, tells me that they wouldn't have followed him if he didn't do that. So he made that decision. Now, it's what he could have done a lot, and it's fallen apart. His empire is falling apart because Versant and others who were part of it at one time are now exposing what Yogi Bhajan did in the name of Sikhism. And, and there's a lot of victims, lawsuits, lots of victims here. So it became a cult, basically. They still exist, and I still am very fond of the music and, the attempts at peace, but if they can't, come to grips that the soul is formed at conception, if they can't, you can't do that. There's too many people affected by that. That's not an insignificant belief. It's an extremely significant belief. It's a belief of life or death, really. So joining the Kundalini Yoga movement of Yogi Bhajan is like joining a cult, really. And it's a cult that is exclusive of definitely unborn children, but really children. So anyway, not all is lost, not all is lost. And Yogi Bhajan allowed the Our Lady of Guadalupe image down there in the Gurdwara. Now that, just allowing her face there, perhaps saved him from hell, okay? Because I believe that our Blessed Mother is willing to give him another chance. Because like I said, there is a lot of good, the healthy eating, the self-esteem. These things are good, and the Blessed Mother likes these things. So anyway, that's a realm that's difficult to understand, and I am here to basically sort of redirect the train, okay? I'm here to redirect the train, and I'm not the only one, but my direction is really towards bliss of heaven, like these people sing about. But we're going to go the right way. We're not going to go on some like side track, So we can have a good time. There's no question about that. just focus on her. Hail, Holy Queen, Hail, Mother of Mercy, Hail our light, our sweetness, our hope. To thee do we cry, we're banished children of Eve. To thee do we send up our sighs in this valley of tears. Turn then, most gracious Advocate, thine eyes of mercy toward us. Turn then, most gracious Advocate, eyes of mercy toward us. And after this our exile, show unto us Jesus, the fruit of your womb. Jesus, the fruit of your womb. Amen. So anyway, that's where we're going with this, to the Queen, the Divine Feminine, the Adi Shakti, right? Who is someone real, who has lived this earthly life. And so we're coming together, okay? We're coming together, and it's all for good, but everyone's included. We can't exclude anybody. So the ban on unborn babies is over, okay? Thank you.